Have you ever wondered why your videos don't look like films? Aside from the millions of dollars in budget, insane amount of crew, and set design, it's a few things that us low-budget filmmakers do that Hollywood DPs rarely do, and I'm going to show you exactly what those things are in this video. Whenever I'm watching my favorite films and shows, I'm always extremely impressed not only with how well the shots look, but just how precise the person controlling focus is on the subject at all times. The background has a ton of bokeh. How are they keeping this focus so well? Not to discredit their talent at holding focus, because it's definitely difficult, but they're actually not shooting as shallow as you think. This is one huge difference between us low-budget filmmakers and Hollywood DPs. We buy a semi-wide-angle lens with an f1.4 aperture and shoot that wide open to achieve what we perceive to be the shallow depth of field from our favorite films, when in reality, they're shooting at a higher focal length at a much more close f-stop to maintain focus. You see, aperture actually isn't the only thing that affects bokeh. The focal length in correlation to the distance of the subject to the camera affects bokeh as well. You can use a higher focal length with a much more close aperture and achieve the same, if not more bokeh than shooting with the lower focal length at a more open f-stop. The difference in background blur isn't the main goal here though, it's precision. It's a lot more difficult for you to hold a subject in focus at f1.4 than it is at f4. When autofocus trips out or you just plain miss focus, this can be the moment that a shot is completely ruined. Films and TV shows do a great job of world building, creating an environment that feels so immersive and realistic no matter how far-fetched they may be. One of the biggest components of this is lighting. It feels non-existent. Two great examples of this are The Batman and the show Who Was Aaron Carter on Netflix. Two polar opposite themes and scenery. The Batman is dark, grungy, gritty, while Aaron Carter is bright, soft, and natural, but both of these worlds are wildly convincing that they could exist. The philosophy when building worlds from a Hollywood DP is that a light doesn't just come out of nowhere. It has to be omitted from some practical light source in the current frame or implied from another frame of the same scene. If we see a wide shot with the window, we can imply that the same window is lighting our subject in the close-up, even though that's rarely ever the case. That's one of the biggest differences from us low-budget filmmakers. Sometimes we feel so inclined to make sure our subject is lit that we'll just throw a light in a scene that makes no sense in correlation to the practical light sources already in the scene, and it can take the viewer out of the immersion. The goal with lighting is to make it feel like it's not even there. Build off of what practical light sources you already have in the scene and enhance those to achieve the look you're going for. Use your practicals to motivate the direction, angle, and intensity of any external lights you plan to add to a scene, and you'll build a much more immersive world for your projects. Keeping up with the same theme of lighting, have you ever felt like your shots just lack that punch of films? Despite the fact that you added light to your scene, you're filming on the shadow side of your subject, it's just not hitting the same. If you've ever watched BTS of a film's production, almost every shot they're removing light from the camera side to intensify that contrast in a shot, and this is something that I almost never do. This is a huge difference to low-budget filmmakers and Hollywood DPs. They understand removing light is just as important as adding it. Light reflects from almost every surface it hits. If you don't remove that light, it can pollute your image in many ways, like reducing your contrast ratio and adding color casts that you just don't want. Lots of scenes actually only need light removed from them to boost the look. Take the shot here. If your shot isn't giving the cinematic punchy look, you might just need to remove light from the scene to increase the contrast ratio. Now that you got some tips, all you need is about $20 million in budget and a professional colorist. Jokes aside though, man, head on to the comment section and let me know what was the best tip in this video, if it helped you at all. If you're looking for some more cinematography tips, check out this video right here. It's kind of ironic that I popped in this video that's about making your videos look like films on an iPhone. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.